Okay, so here's my bale wrapper. It's an Econo-Wrap 3-point hitch bale wrapper, single bale. One advantage of wrapping single bales is that you can feed a single bale. You wrap a single bale, you can feed a single bale. Whereas inline wrappers, if you do a big long tube of them, once you start feeding them, you pretty much have to keep feeding them. This one you can get the thing to go on the back of it that will tip the bales up on end. Look into getting that for the future. Just give them up on end so that they sit a little better. Might make it so you don't have to be in a as level of a place to put them, and might help them be a little bit more organized. You could roll this, like you could roll this one over and touch the other row and it would stop it, and you wouldn't have to have a gap in between, that kind of thing. So the rest of the video is going to be more about the wrapper and some actual wrapping of bales. Alright, so here we are, wrapping hay. First season that I've wrapped hay. Got the Econo-Wrap here. Works pretty good. It's a single wrapper. It takes a little while to get used to. Putting bales on, dumping bales off, loading them down, fix that. Made quite a few bales. Got this hay here from last night, yesterday actually. Ran out of wrap last night. Just checked the moisture of the moisture tester. It's not a real hay one, but it says about 20-21% moisture, so we're still pretty good on that. I'm assuming it's a little bit more moist inside. Got the 966 on the wrapper. We'll wrap this bale. Okay, that's what I have. I wrapped 17 bales last night and ran out of wrap. And so I came back out today and wrapped the last 7. I made 24 bales yesterday. I like the wrapper. I mean, it's, it's a pretty good wrapper. It's obviously it's a, Econo-Wrap. It's an economy, wrapper. They don't cost a whole lot of money. I think brand new they're like $4,500, something like that. Works pretty good. I think the only thing that I've noticed is when you dump the bale off and you have your film go across there and you load your next bale on, once in a while, if it doesn't cut it quite right when you start the next bale, it gets wrapped up down under the bottom there. It's kind of like one of those spots where it'd be nice if there was maybe an extra shield or something like that to keep it from going there. But it wasn't too big of a deal. I mean, it just pulls out. There's a couple bearings down in there that it rolls around on. It's not, you know, anything major. It's a little tricky to learn how to load the film and learn how to get the bales positioned right. Probably the only thing I don't like about it, which has nothing to do with the wrapper, is it's a little hard to place the bales how you want them. You got to have the wrapper level, so it spins real good and the bales don't fall off or anything like that. But the spacing of the bales, I'd like, you know, like them being, you know, neater rows and closer together. The other problem that I have is the ones that I need to feed first are back towards the back, and they're on the inside. So I have to figure that out. But, you know, as far as what it does a good job. I'd like to have a different way to put them maybe, but I'm not sure how that works. It might work better to load them from the other side and have the tractor go in the other direction. But I like this spot for bales. We put bales here for years. It's kind of up out of the way a little ways. So I would say that's the only thing that, you know, this type of wrapper is like, you can't really get the bales, you know, nice and perfect how you want them. Like I've got a gap here between my rows, and I'm probably, next time I do some, I'm probably going to try to back in here and drop a couple here and start another row, and then I'll end up you know, with 4 or 5 rows or however. I'm gonna have to come back and number them and the order that I made them, so that I know which ones I want to feed first. I had just a couple little tears. I had one got caught on the cutter, and when I dumped it off, it tore it. You can see it back there. I duct taped it. You know, it's not a huge deal. It's just a little bit of learning how to do it and how to get the bales on there. We adjusted the baler a little bit, and obviously it's probably making the nicest, squarest bales it can make. The only difference that I've noticed is sometimes some of the bales are a little higher on the edge, so it might not be wrapped. You'll see it's got a little bit of a dent right there, but I mean, they're pretty good bales. I'm pretty happy with them, and I think it's going to work out good. We're going to try it for the first time ever, feeding some wrap bales. Really, the goal was we have some steers. We want to feed the wrap bales to the steers and see if we can get them to gain, you know, some weight the last, you know, 5 months or so before their butcher date. That's really what it's all about. I don't know if we're going to have enough to really feed the cows, you know, a lot of bales, but if it works out, you know, we'll probably look at doing more next year, and feeding our cows them throughout the year. But you know, this year wrap's a little hard to find, so we found it, you know, actually on a trip downstate, found 5 rolls of wrap. That was all we could get in the car with the luggage and kids and all that stuff, but it was a little hard to find. And, you know, looking to do 100 to 120 bales, something like that, and see how it goes. And obviously once the steers are gone, we'll feed the rest of the cows and get some good results from them as well. You know, I don't really know if I'd want to wrap my entire crop this way, but you know, it works pretty good. I mean, obviously I'm doing it by myself. It would be a little easier if I had one person, you know, helping, where one person could get the next bale ready and load it, and one person could do all the wrapping. But this works pretty well. I'm not complaining about that at all. I did last night at night, had the skid steer lights on, and it was fine. It was no big deal. So that's what we got. Thanks for checking in.